Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Tuesday morning. I just caught myself late. I haven't been doing much on Instagram lately, but this morning, my wife was telling me about this thing, Blackout Tuesday. I didn't really know what she was talking about. Morning, Sally. I didn't really know what she was talking about. And so I went on the Instagram and saw my feed overwhelmed with people with just black pictures on their Instagram feed. And I started looking at what it was, and it's the intention around it is basically a day of disruption from business as usual. This is not business as usual. Morning, Ronnie. Morning, Christy. Hi. This is not business as usual. I don't know if you guys feel it like I do, but I've been in quite a state for the last 48 hours. Heaviness, sadness, anger and fear and uncertainty, different than how it related 2 months ago to COVID-19. Really different. I haven't really written anything about this yet because I'm still spending so much time listening and understanding. But I feel this level of shame and guilt and for not having figured this out sooner, for not having understood sooner, for not having paid attention sooner. After watching the video, it's just been building inside me. Like I usually watch a video and it doesn't build and nothing builds inside me. It kind of dissipates, but it's been building inside of me. And not really getting it, in spite of all the education and all the videos and all the ways I've said over the years, I'm not racist. I have plenty of black friends. I love black people. I love white people. I love brown people. I just never saw it. I failed to personalize it. I failed to really want to get it. And Christy, the video of George, I don't know how I can forget his last name at this moment, but I just forgot his last name, being murdered last week by the police officer, that video. I have a wisdom teacher that I listen to. Her name's Dr. Shafali. And she talks about how this is not just a racism problem. It's a separation problem. Like if you pull back and not be so myopic, that it's a separation. Like one of the ways I've been able to see it in my own life is how I view other people as separate, how I see women or my kids or my kid. I don't have kids. Or other people who have an issue or a problem, or groups of people who are dealing with something that's different from me. As long as there is a duality, as long as there is a separation, an attitude of us versus them, this will continue to exist. And it really brought it into perspective for me. It really brought it into my house. My when I say house, I don't mean literally my house. I mean my house, my consciousness. And it made it personal, and that just made it so much more powerful for me. The plight of the Black man, the Black women, the Black community over the past 200 years. And God, this tremendous amount of sadness. Like, fuck, I'm just waking up to this now? Like, how could it have taken so long? So, Christy, I really encourage you to watch it. I know it's hard, but it's important. Ronnie, I get that from your point of view. For me, I haven't personalized it, and so I haven't gotten it. So it was important for me to personalize it so that I could understand better the systemic racism and how it is everywhere and how it needs to be addressed specifically in our community, in our country. Christy, I would just encourage you, tears are good. Sadness is good. Like being in the uncertainty is not a bad thing right now. I don't have any answers. I'm just sharing from my heart. I don't know. And I don't know. Look, I don't have the answers for you either, Christy. You have to decide for yourself what works for you. But it feels to me like it's important for us to engage in a way that we may not have engaged before and see things from a different perspective. And I reminded of the last page of the book, The Lorax. I can't remember the whole words of the last page, but the last word, or one of the words, is unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot and is willing to do something. I don't know yet what to do, but this is one thing I'm doing. This is one thing I'm doing. So maybe this is the start of more. Well, we should meditate because I'm running out of time. Yeah, my heart hurts too, Christy. My heart hurts too. So let's do our best to clear our minds, clear our thoughts, to let go of all the stuff going on in the world right now, just for 10 minutes or so. And because that 10 minutes is so valuable right now that we can't afford. Where did I go? We can't afford. I mean, look, we can't afford not to. People are not meditating all the time, but you guys know the power of meditation. We can't afford not to. So I appreciate you guys being here with me and indulging me in that 10 minutes. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like these should be 20 or 30 minutes or changeable, fungible based on the day. But I also understand the need to make them a finite time and how helpful that can be. So let's do this. By the way, if I didn't mention it, if you're on Instagram, go to Instagram and post a picture. You can just put your camera on a countertop and just take a picture of black and make that your picture today and tag it, not Black Lives Matter, tag it Blackout Tuesday. Just a little something you can do. All right, let's do this. Get yourself in a good position. Sitting up nice and tall, eyes almost closed. We're going to go until 8:53. 8:53. Here we go. All right, let's use these first couple minutes to just settle. Let's use both our sense of, there's no sense of sensation, that's what I was going to say, but our sensation of our breath. So that would be our touch sense, I guess, and our sense of our hearing, both, to bring us into the present moment. So focusing on your breath, on your breathing, relaxing your shoulders, letting them drop down away from your ears, breathing in and out through your nose, moving the air down deep into the bottom of your belly. Once you've got 5 or 6 good deep breaths going, shift your attention to what you hear around you. Not the meaning of what you hear around you. Like I can hear sirens in the background, and if I let myself go into the meaning of sirens, my brain and my thoughts can take me down a rabbit hole. So I'm just going to use the sirens as a way to notice and bring me into the present. Because they're happening right now. Oh, and now they're not. And I can also hear the birds chirping. I can hear the sound of a car. I can hear the rumble of a jet airplane. All happening right now. Now, if you find yourself lost in thought, just notice that you went bye-bye. Pull yourself back. It's okay. It happens. I just did for a second, for more than a second. None of us are immune from the machinery that makes us human. We can't stop it. We can't stop thinking. But we can practice, which is why we're here. And that clarity that we get from being here is so valuable. Because it gives us a window through which you can see, clear of the muck from life. The shades are open. There are no shades on this window. It's the clearest window you've ever seen, almost like there's no window. It's the thoughts that are like the bugs that splatter on your windshield when you take a long road trip and you haven't washed your windshield in a while. Or the muck that settles onto your windshield when your car sits, having not been used for a month. And it's not in a garage and it's not covered. That's what happens to us every minute of every day. The view we're seeing, we think it's clear, but it's not so clear. And this gives us a chance to see clearly, to slow down those thoughts, to wipe our windshield clean with our squeegee. And to see inside, see with our hearts. To hear and see our inner wisdom. By the way, our inner wisdom only sees outside when the windshield is clear. I find that I don't have access to my inner wisdom when my windshield is all mucked up. Finding this peace is how I gain access. And it's cumulative. When I first started meditating, I was doing it for 3 minutes, and that felt like a long time. Now I feel cheated if I don't get 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes, and then spend 10 minutes with you guys. All right, we've got about a minute left, so I'm gonna pipe down. And let you just lean in. Okay, guys, welcome back. Open your eyes. I hope that helped you settle some. I remind you that this place is available to you all day. Anytime you need it, you can come back to this place. Within a minute, you can settle your mind. And I encourage you to do so in these difficult times. I also want to remind you that it's Blackout Tuesday, so add that picture to your Instagram feed. And I will be stopping broadcasting in the Facebook group, in the Whole Life Challenge Facebook group, as of Saturday, after Saturday. No longer in the Facebook group. It will be on. Let's see. It'll be on. It won't be in the Facebook group. It won't be on YouTube. It won't be on the Whole Life Challenge YouTube. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to consolidate it into one spot. My personal Facebook page, which is Facebook.com/Andy Petranek, or if I'm going to put it on my page and on my YouTube. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it once a week in other places as well. But if you want to make sure you get what I'm doing, follow me on Facebook, Andy Petranek. I don't think I can take any more friends. I think I'm right around 5,000. So just follow me. And I appreciate you guys being here. Just one thing to remember: we have the ability to affect how we're feeling, how we're thinking, and the actions that we're taking. We're not at the mercy of what's going on in the world unless we choose to be. And the way you can shift that for yourself when you're ready, if you want to, is to just start waking up to what you're thinking. I call it doing a thought download. Thank you, Christy. Thanks, Ronnie. Thanks, Mary Sue. Thanks, Mike. Nancy times 3. Sally. I call it doing a thought download. So just take a piece of paper and write down what you're thinking, or your computer, whatever. What are you thinking? If you're in a state, what are you thinking that's got you in that state? I'm thinking that blah. I'm thinking that blah. I'm thinking that blah. And then, what am I feeling? What does thinking this way have me feel? I use a tool called Plutchkit's Wheel of Emotions, which is I had a printed out copy of it on my desk. I don't see it right now, but it's a. I'm gonna put it in. Oh, my mouse is not working. I'm gonna put it in the comments for those of you still here. How do you spell it? Let's see how you spell it. Utchik. Of emotions. I use that for a new Google search, and you'll see a whole bunch of them come up. I use it to give me more fluency with words, feeling words, because I'm not very fluent with feeling words. My brain goes immediately to, I can only think of one word. I'm sad. And there's a whole range of other words that help to add color. Like you'll see that in the Plutchkit's wheel, there's lots of colors. So it helps to give me just a little more room to express myself in different ways, in new ways. And so what are the thoughts I'm thinking? What are the feelings I'm experiencing as they relate to those thoughts? And then what actions do those cause me to take? Like yesterday when I was feeling how I was feeling around the death of George Floyd and all the protests, what I was thinking was, oh God, how have I missed this for 53 years? I was feeling guilt, shame, sadness, pain. And the action that caused me to take was shutdown. I was stopping, we're not doing anything, not unable to think about anything else. And honestly, I wasn't ready to move out of that place. So I didn't. I wrote, I processed, and it lasted through most of the day. I didn't get a lot done yesterday. I had some good conversations with some of my friends. I did a Peloton workout, which helped me physically. But I can see now that if I re-enter that sequence, thought, feeling, action, I'm a little more ready today to shift my thoughts. And see, once you get that this is how we work, you have the power to shift your thoughts anytime you want to. Like I said, sometimes you're not ready. It's fine. You don't have to shift them if you're not ready. You can stick with your thoughts that you're having, and you can stick in the feelings that you're having. But if it goes on long enough and you're ready for them to shift, then it's good to know that you can. Hey, Sharon, welcome. It's good to know that you can. And thought, feeling, action, thought, feeling, action, thought, feeling, action. That's how our brain operates. That's our internal mechanism for everything. I mean, there's not a human that exists that doesn't use that sequence of processing in their life. And we are either moving at any point in our life, we're either moving toward a feeling that feels better, or we're moving away from something that feels painful or uncomfortable. There's no in between. Yeah, Christy, I agree. I'm doing a lot more listening right now than I am in acting, because honestly, I don't know what actions yet to take other than to talk to you guys, talk to friends, listen a lot to other people, because the way I've approached the concept that I've had up until now of racism has been that I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Like, I don't have a problem. And saying that while I failed to realize that the entire fabric of my life has been built on privilege. Privilege because it's built in to our culture. It's built into our society. It's built in. I mean, it's not my fault, and I'm not feeling guilty for that. Okay, I can't do anything about that. Just like a Black person or an Indian person or a Chinese person can't do anything about their skin color. Or me, white person, I can't change my skin color. It's something we're born with, and we were born into this culture the way it is. And I just didn't see the level of privilege and how that has resulted in me having opportunities in my life that others just don't. And then when that's extrapolated out to George Floyd, it's not just opportunities, it's just fear. I mean, I'm horrified. I can't imagine the level of fear that would be in a mother's heart when their black son leaves the house for college or for high school or just to get on the bus, just every day. Given now the way I see our society, look, I know it's not everyone. I know it's not every police officer I have so many friends that are amazing people and amazing police officers. But it's built into the culture. And it's so much bigger than any one person. It's so much bigger than, heck, it's bigger than Donald Trump. I heard the mayor of Atlanta this morning speaking and how she gets sucked into the Trump drama. And she's like, I just have to resist that. I mean, this is so much bigger than Donald Trump and all of his ridiculously egotistical antics. Whether you are right-leaning or left-leaning or agree with his policies or politics, one thing that I've got to say is the way he goes about leadership is about as back-asswards as anything I've ever seen. It's just not. He's not a leader. I mean, he's a leader in the sense that he's got the courage to stand up and say what he thinks. But he's no Winston Churchill. There's a lack of selflessness. There's a lack of awareness. There's a lack of, there's an out of touchness. And I don't think up until now it's mattered a whole heck of a lot in our peaceful world that we've, in the last 70 years, having had no real confrontations. I mean, we've had little, I know they're not little. Vietnam isn't little. 9/11 wasn't little, but in the grand scheme of the universe or of the world and the history of the world, everything that we've gone through in the last 70 years has been little in comparison to, World War I or the Civil War or the American Revolution or the Crusades or the Roman Empire. And I have a very limited knowledge of history. I know the white version of history. Who knows? I mean, I don't know anything about the history of Africa or South America. I know a little bit about South America just because of the explorers, but life for me since I was born has been a given. There's been so much certainty in my life around where money's coming from, where opportunity's coming from, where life is coming from, where success will come from. I have been completely disconnected from the normal uncertainty. I don't know who that is in Facebook because it shows for me as Facebook user. So yeah, we eradicated the history of Africa. Yes, I see that now. That's heavy shit. Well, I don't really know where I'm going with all this. I didn't think I was going to keep talking. Andy, I know how your name doesn't pop up. In the app that I'm using called StreamYard, there should be a little notice in the live things. You have to give it permission to use your name. There's a little link. You have to, it says, Andy's going live with StreamYard, and in order to have your name pop up in comments, you have to click this link. I'm sure what it does is it just says you have permission. But I was going to say, I don't know where I'm going with all this. I didn't know that I was going to keep talking for this long. But I did. And some of you are still here. And those of you that are still here, thank you for being here. And those of you that are not here, you're not here. So you had other important things to do today, and you're doing them, and that's fantastic. Well, Andy, here's the good news: is I will no longer be going live in the Facebook group as of this coming week. So you no longer have to worry about that not working. So for everybody else that hasn't heard, I'm going to be consolidating my meditations to Facebook, my personal page, maybe my business page too, but that's / Andy Petranek. And I have about 5,000 friends there. So you'll have to follow me. You can follow me there if you want to. So that's it, guys. I hope you have a great day. Be strong. Be real. Be aware. Wake up. Find this peaceful place and ask yourself, what am I seeing? What am I experiencing? Thank you, Christy. Thanks for the encouragement. I know you say I'm already doing it. I don't really know what that even is. So I'll just have to keep doing whatever it is I'm doing. It's like invisible to me. And I have this ongoing story that in my head that I don't know enough. I need to learn more. I don't have anything to share yet because I haven't learned enough to be able to share it. I'm not as wise as the wisest sages of the world. So I don't have anything valuable to share. And I know that's not true. And yet that is the ongoing conversation in my mind. So I appreciate your encouragement and you writing that. So thanks, guys. I will be back tomorrow morning at 8:30 for another meditation, and we'll see you then.